Ladies and gentlemen, welcome down to another Swing Quest video, and today we are going to be talking about how you can develop more effortless power. Now you may be asking and wondering, nay, doubting whether this is going to be possible. However, if you want to generate speed in the golf swing, if you want to propel that ball down the fairway with a little bit more ferocity, there are certain things that you can do with your body to enable that extra speed. So when we speak about power within the golf swing, what we really mean is the potential to transfer energy from the body down into the club head. So we're just going to be focusing on trying to move this quicker throughout the shot. Now, this is not a video which is going to be focused on how you can hit the ball straighter, because potentially some of these movements could increase the inaccuracy of your drives. However, a lot of what we're speaking about is really just freeing up your body movements. And generally speaking, when I was giving lessons and when I see a lot of people now, they're actively trying to restrict their golf swings, when actually freeing themselves up and being a little bit more natural is probably the way to go. Now, although we are going to be focusing mostly on what you can do with your body, it would be remiss not to talk about what you can do with the golf club. Generally speaking, if you are a handicap golfer, you are going to be better at having a large club head, which is 460 cc's. Now, you can get some drivers which are less than that, say 440 or 430 cc, so that's the overall size of the head. They actually move through the air a little bit quicker, but you will most likely sacrifice on forgiveness. Shaft-wise, if you get a light shaft, you are going to be able to move it faster through impact. I have a 60 gram shaft here, but you can get shafts which are all the way down at 40 grams. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it will enable you to move the club a little bit quicker. Without further ado, let's focus on what you can do with this, your body. So as we spoke about, the freedom of movement is something that we really need to get across. Generally, constrictions and restrictions when you're generating speed are not the best path forward. So there are a few areas that I need you to be aware of. In all hitting motions, whether you're playing tennis, cricket, bit of baseball, boxing, anything where there's a hit involved, you are going to have movement which puts pressure and weight behind the hit and then transfers through towards the target. So you're going to be moving this way and you're going to be moving this way. Because you're drawing power up from the turf, up from the earth, up from the very core of our molten planet, we're also going to be having a bit of movement which is also down and then up, because that's where you're drawing your energy from. So we have movement which is this way, and then also a little bit this way and this way. Now you might be thinking, Pete, what are you talking about? Have you finally slipped off the deep end and had one too many Guinnesses here in Ireland? Well, yes. But also, now you may remember when Tiger was at his pomp and when you had a lot of really young athletic players starting to come through, a lot of the commentators on the television would often bemoan the fact that they were losing height in their downswing. They were moving down, and apparently this was the worst thing in the world. But as it came to light and a little bit more understanding started to blossom within the coaching community, it was seen that if you can push down, you can then draw energy upwards. This is a movement which we all make naturally, but we don't want to shy away from it. So please bear that in mind. So we've got our rights, our lefts, our ups and our downs. Now we need to give ourselves room to operate. Now, when I say room to operate, if you take the club back this far, you're only going to be able to generate so much power between here and the point of impact. This is why having a full backswing and a lot of width to move the club away from the ball is so important. It's so you can generate power as you move back down through impact. So to couple these things together, we're going to take the club away and we're going to be focusing on width. And really, it's just having that word in your mind. It's having that feeling. It's having that focus. It's taking the grip and then trying to get the club wide as it moves from the body. Now, as you can see, my shoulders start to rotate. My body starts to turn is I have that feeling of width. Now, if you remember the start of this video, what we've also spoken about is that weight transfer. So it's wide, and I'm going to move my weight onto my right instep. Width, here. So we have that width, and we have that transfer onto that trail side, really loading up that right knee. Now, as we move into the ball, we have that width, we have that turn, we're gonna push down, and we're also gonna push towards the target. So it's that combination of movements. Wide, right side, push onto the left, and use the earth, that momentum of going down. Now, once that happens, the body and the arms are going to start to bring the club down. It's important to note that as we turn and as we rotate through the ball, which is an important part of power, which we'll get into in a moment, that comes after this initial movement. If you simply turn from the top of the swing, that's not actually the best way to generate power. We need this movement first before we start to rotate. Come on, wide transfer. Whew. Whips through. Now again, with natural motions of hitting with other sports, we have the turn, we have the width, we have the rotation, which should come naturally if you really focus on getting that nice width away from the ball. That movement as you come down into the ball, this again is all that potential. It's from here where we rotate and really add in that punch. And again, it is the same with boxing, to use that punching analogy. It's that turn, it's that rotation, and it's the movement through. It's here, then it's the turn. With tennis, it's here, rotation. With any hitting sport, it's the same thing. The timing of it is how you can be effortless with the power. So this is what you need to get absolutely right. Wide, rotate, weight transfer. Use the earth, turn. Now, a drill that you can use for this, very, very useful. It really does help free the body and the mind up. I've just left a T-peg in from my last drive. So as you'll notice, T-peg, no ball. So what I want you to do is basically hit this T-peg, clip the very, very top of it with the swing. Often when you remove a ball, it frees up the mind a little bit more and you can start to make a few more natural motions. When the ball is there, that's when people can get a little bit tight. So if you could train yourself to clip the top of that T-peg, it can actually free you up. It's a great tip, especially if you're trying to square the club face as well. It's a really good thing to do. So the width, the transfer, the push and transfer, rotate, clip the tee. It's as simple as that. Right guys, huge thank you. If you want to continue to improve your driving, check out these videos here. But before you head away, hit that subscribe button. Become part of the Swing Quest community as we move towards 100,000 subscribers.